The Australian government collects and uses a lot of data, but even when it would be really helpful for one agency to use data from another, there can be a lot of barriers blocking agencies from sharing their data and deriving the full benefits of that information. When agencies are able to make their data available, the benefits are there to see. The tax system is now much easier because the tax office can pre-fill some of your information. We now know not to use some medications during pregnancy, thanks to the research that linked the medications to birth defects in newborn children. To make these discoveries happen more readily, the government is working on new data availability and transparency legislation that will, in some cases, override older laws, many of which were put in place for good reason, but are no longer fit for purpose and are actually making it harder for public servants to do innovative work that would benefit Australia. These changes would allow the potential benefits of this data to be realised, but only if the data and privacy are protected from misuse and the reasons for sharing are valid. These reasons will be vigorously tested. Users will need to show why they need the data, be able to demonstrate they can protect it, and even then will only pass if the data is to be used for research and development that's in the public's interest, to design, run or evaluate government policies and programs, or to deliver services. For instance, agencies could share higher education data to assist research into student pathways to provide new insights for improving education, or gather data from other agencies on household fire risks to develop more effective disaster response and fire prevention systems. We can make interactions with government easier by allowing you to pre-fill forms to an agency with information that you've previously supplied to another quickly and more accurately. These purposes for sharing data also have limits. Data sharing for other reasons will not be allowed, like targeted commercial marketing or operations that might target individuals. Simply having good intentions is not enough. The process to make sure the data is protected uses 5 safeguarding principles that are applied to the degree required to help government agencies make the right decision about when and how to share data sets safely and effectively. These principles work together to ensure that the project, users, and setting are appropriate for the type of data involved, and any published output doesn't put anyone or any business at risk of harm. The principles also protect your privacy by reducing the amount of information shared which could identify a person, by limiting when data is shared with third parties, and by ensuring that identifiable information is not made public. This principles-based approach is flexible to cater for different cases. The more sensitive or complex the data, the more protections there are. If the data cannot be protected appropriately, it cannot be shared. When appropriate protections are agreed, they are set out in a data sharing agreement, which will be published so people can see how the system works. This process is consistent with privacy laws and allows government and researchers to make the best possible use of data while ensuring the security and privacy are protected. The new data availability and transparency legislation is one of the ways the government is updating the national data system to improve data management and use to deliver better outcomes for all Australians.